What's going on, traders? It's Ricky with Techbud Solutions. Thank you guys again for joining us for another live stream within our channel. For those that are joining us for the first time, we do go live every single day, Monday through Friday. We usually go live during pre-market hours, so if you guys want to learn a little bit more about how we personally day trade, feel free to join us. It's going to be 6 a.m. Mountain Standard Time for those that are up that early, Mountain Standard Time. But if you guys are on the East Coast, I think it's like 9 a.m. So it's not too bad for you guys. I'm going to give it a couple seconds or a couple minutes for people to start tuning in. I want to thank you guys for taking time out of your busy day and joining us. Today has been an extremely busy and hectic day. I'm going to wait and give it a couple moments till everyone starts tuning in. But again, it's just been really busy. We're going to be talking about a number of different things. We're going to be talking about, the Robinhood app crashing today, kind of my whole thought process about that, and some feedback that I've received from the thousands of members within our community. For those that don't know about Techbud Solutions, the Facebook link is down below. If you guys want to join, it's a free networking group. We're a little bit over now 32,000 members now worldwide. And the thing that we do best is we provide a supportive and welcoming community for both new and experienced traders. Therefore, we talk about the basics and the fundamentals of trading, giving you a better understanding by sharing our best practices, sharing our mistakes, as well as just talking about like what we do well, right, to promote overall group growth. So it looks like we have a good number of people that are joining us right now. So I just want to let you guys know, a majority of you guys are already a part of Techbud Solutions. For those that are not, just thank you guys for your patience. Today was an extremely busy day, aside from just what we were doing with Techbuds, and it just came down to, we received this form of disruption within our group chats. We provide a free group chat for everyone, and it's kind of just this belief that I had. It started a little bit over a year ago with just really close friends and wanting to provide a community or just like a platform where me and my friends that were doing well, but to continue motivating ourselves. And what I mean by that is when I was 21, I had like my GTR, I had my house. And people think because like you have these things that you feel really very proud, and you feel like just fulfilled, right? Because you achieved something that can be formulated as success. But what it came down to, that specific time, I found myself like less motivated because of just understanding that I wasn't happy with having these materialistic things. So it came down to creating this group. It started with me and some cousins and some close friends. And it started with about 5 to 6 people. And the coolest thing about that was, again, it was just a community, a group chat where we just, continue keeping one another up to date on our business ventures, what we're doing, how we're going to continue to grow as entrepreneurs or as investors, and kind of just talking about our day to day, having your buddy, but not just your friend, but someone that motivates you. And that's something that I felt that I needed. I started filming YouTube videos, and then I built this like beautiful following of, I think we hit 34,000 subscribers today. So thank you guys for those that are, that have assisted me in this huge growth. We're at 1,000 subscribers as of January of this year. And yeah, it really comes down to just thanking you guys. I know that's super cliche, but I really want to thank you guys for your hard work and how you guys truly showed you guys are, we are a team within Techbuds, because we received this disruption from this individual that, I just don't understand how these, I'm trying to provide this platform for free for everyone, right? Not asking you for any information. I really just want to provide a platform that's supportive and effective for people to learn the basics and fundamentals of trading, and the benefit of sharing ideas, being exposed to new opportunity, and just continuing this motivation that really drives me and that I wish to drive others. But people just like ruin it, and it just comes down to people not having anything better to do, but I don't really know what it is. So what we ended up having to do was I made the decision myself to create this Discord group, because we originally were using the group chat. Now people are asking me, Ricky, what's going on? Are we gonna just leave the thousands of members that are within the GroupMe app and then just start over with like Discord? And what's going to happen as you make the transition over to the Techbud Solutions website that is supposed to offer all of these features in your own customized platform? What it comes down to, I don't know the exact answer right now. I don't want to make a decision based on just a position that I'm put. And what I mean by that is Today, I had a number of things that I had to do aside from just Techbuds. And it came down to trying to manage everything that I had to do, but I had you guys as my team to assist me. You guys were doing such an amazing job reaching out to me. I added a certain amount of admins within that, within Techbuds that weren't originally admins before within the GroupMe or within the Facebook platform, but they were just guys that went out of the way, that jumped on calls with me, and that just took care of it. And that's just to show you the type of community that we are, that we go out of one another's way and we try to make this free community work. And that's one of the most beautiful things. So for that individual that disrupted our group, not only did you shake us up, right? Because it doesn't take anyone to really affect us, because again, it's GroupMe and it's really easy to affect us. So that wasn't necessarily the thing, but you tried to break something that I truly believe is unbreakable because of the passion that we have to motivate one another, and the passion that we have to provide a free platform that is a quality platform that's free for everyone. And that's one of the most important things. I think people just take that for advantage and people get upset. I don't really know what it is to say about that specific experience, but it only made us grow as a team that much quicker. And what I mean by that is, now I have relationships with specific members that I didn't have before that are now assisting me in managing this group. And that's one of the coolest things. I was put in a situation where I had to jump on calls with my developers for the customized group chat and talk to them about what's going on and how we can continue to see the growth. And it pushed me and it drove me to understand that this is what I needed. This is what I needed to get things going and to make sure that I moved a little bit quicker to provide this free platform for you guys. Everything it is that we offer right now when it comes to being able to message and just network with in the Facebook group, all that being for free. That's all that I want to continue maintaining that specific platform for you guys, and to provide a quality just foundation, so everyone has the accessibility to learn the basics and fundamentals of trading. And it comes down to that simple concept. I'm obviously not in it for the money, because I'm not making $1 off of Techbud solutions. If anything, I'm paying my developers to develop this, and they're an amazing team, and they're really they have a true passion for what it is that we are creating as well. But it comes down to, I just wanted to make this video, aside from talking about the Robinhood app crashing, to thank you guys for being the most amazing team. I know some of you just joined and didn't really play a role in it, but just you making this decision to join from the GroupMe app to the Discord app and following us through this transition is an amazing thing, because you're going out of your way to continue this, to continue wanting to be a part of this platform throughout, all the headaches of people just trying to disrupt our group and trying to disrupt our community. But, we really show how connected we are and how passionate we are in making this whole platform available and accessible for everyone. And I just wanted to thank you guys, and if I could jump on a call with each and every one of you guys and just give you guys a thanks and whatever it is that I could, I definitely would. But there's a couple thousand of you, so I don't think that would be very efficient. But I hope you guys know that I'm very thankful for everything it is that you guys do for this group, because it's truly what continues to motivate me. And in moments like these, you have an idea of kind of just a thought in the back of your head of maybe I should give up. This isn't worth it. I'm not seeing the return that I want it, to do. But this is the make it or break it, right? These are the things that put you in certain situations and that truly identify you as, a successful entrepreneur or someone that just gives up. And I think that's the situation that we're put in today. It was a small flaw, but it comes down to, creating a big mess. But we really held arms together and we made this transition. And what I want to give you, how I want to close this off for this whole group chat thing is, am I closing the Techbud Solutions GroupMe group chats? And that's going to be a no. I have a plan and I have an idea, and I'm going to run it past the number of members and kind of just get some feedback. I'm not a person that makes the biggest, quickest decision that I made, on impulse, was creating the Discord group. And I'm not too sure if that was the best, decision that I could have made that specific moment, according to one of my developers. But it came down to I thought that was the right choice, so I made it, and now I have to deal with it. But I'm going to be going back and forth with a number of members, asking for some feedback and what they would believe to be the most effective, transition, if we should keep both group chats or how we can, in a sense, I have a couple ideas on how I think I could even make Techbud Solutions and the group chats that much more effective. And I'm going to be speaking to some of the admins within Techbud Solutions and stuff like that, and also just speaking to each and every one of you guys. So if you guys are in the GroupMe app, if you guys are in the Discord Techbud Solutions app, then just know that you might see a direct message from me asking you for some feedback and how, and again, I'm going to be asking you for some feedback most likely on, how I can continue to establish this group to be the most effective and efficient type of group chat specifically for you as a trader. Because I'm developing this group chat for you, for the people, right? For the people that just want to learn. So I hope you guys understand that. And I just want to thank you guys again for the support. Now let's talk about Robinhood. Let's see. I was reading some of the, I don't know, let's see, is there someone? Let me copy one of those texts. I'm reading some of the messages right now. Oh, okay, I see. Shout me out. So Ronald wants a shout out. There's a person wasting their time in our group. I can see that, just writing a bunch of nonsense. So thank you for that. Mohammed, what's up, bud? All right, let's go ahead and talk about the Robinhood crash. I'll continue this discussion within our group chats, but pretty much the GroupMe group chats are closed. So for those that are in the GroupMe group chats, I have an idea and I'm going to run it past those members that are in there. And if you're still part of that, then you still have the opportunity to be part of that specific transition. And I think it's probably going to be a very effective type of transition that we're going to be making. So just if you guys are in the GroupMe group chat and you guys like that specific group chat more than the Discord group chat and you don't want to make the transition, just know that I'm going to still be managing both. And I'm going to still have the admins managing both, and people are still going to be sharing their ideas and sharing their best practices and their mistakes on both group chats, because some people don't want to make the transition until we move over to the Techbud Solutions group chat. So just know that. So I'm going to be reaching out to you, and just know that. So for those that have been asking, I've gotten thousands, not thousands, hundreds of these screenshots, and it was so upsetting to see. But it was this. Not too sure if you guys could see. But it pretty much says that, first of all, some couldn't even place an order, some couldn't even cancel an order, some couldn't even sell an order. So just the Robinhood application during the time of nearly just market open, I think it said like 9 a.m. So even during pre-market hours to about 12, so about three hours after the market was open, those were when most of the reports were reported to Robinhood. And there was just a bunch of feedback that was given within the GroupMe, the Techbud Solutions group chat. And that's why I find this to be so effective, because so many people were exposed to the idea that Robinhood is having issues, not being able to either sell their positions. I saw a number of people saying that wow, my stop loss isn't kicking in, or I can't sell my position, or I can't buy this position, and just a number of different things. And it was very discouraging because of, I don't know if you guys saw, but Robinhood was just valued at $1.3 billion. And it's so funny, literally a couple days ago. And understanding that their valuation is now $1.3 billion for their innovative group, brokerage company, 100%. I mean, it's opened a lot of doors for a lot of people to start trading, but understanding that, these mistakes and these flaws, these service issues are all part of the game. But it also discourages a lot of traders to want to continue using the platform, because it's not a reliable platform. Their quotes are delayed. Their customer service, when it comes to actually trying to speak to a customer service representative, first of all, their contact number for you to call them is always hidden. Therefore, I always have to post it within my videos, right? If you guys have seen any of my Robinhood videos, they're always posted there because people don't know the number, or they don't post it within the app. And then it takes 24 to 48 hours for the email customer support to get back to you. And it takes about like 30 minutes, either 2 hours to even get in contact with a Robinhood rep over the phone. It's just very discouraging when it comes down to trading, and when it comes down to being efficient and effective. You want to make sure that you have a brokerage company that's there to support you and back you up. And regardless if you're innovative, regardless of how much growth you're actually seeing, I think they're growing a little bit quicker than what they could actually scale out, and they're seeing a lot of this is a really bad issue. People lost like thousands and thousands of dollars, and with the millions of users that they have, that's millions. And it just comes down to the understanding that they did. I don't want to talk bad about Robinhood. The reason I don't is because they did open a lot of doors for people with smaller accounts to be exposed to the idea of being able to trade and not have to pay commissions. That's something extremely innovative, and no one can really bash on that, right? They are doing something that no one else is. Understanding that their support isn't there, their platform isn't necessarily always very reliable, their execution is pretty delayed, and they offer a very simplistic design and type of approach on like their graphs. They're pretty much useless, but they do have a good, I think, end goal. But it just comes down to they're not growing at the pace that I think they expected. I'm not too sure, but it just comes down to they're experiencing these number of issues that me as I have only 32,000, a little bit over 32,000 members within Techbud Solutions. I probably get maybe 10 to 20 messages a day regarding issues with Robinhood, and that's just that specific app. Again, I don't have millions of just users, and those are people that are actually trying to report to me and ask me what it is that they can do. I can only imagine those that are experiencing and are not even asking questions, and then the millions that are out there that are seeing this every single time that they take a position. It could be extremely discouraging, and then because they took this approach and because they started using Robinhood, it can discourage someone to ever want to invest in the stock market. And that's definitely, people say that's the price that you pay for not having to pay for commissions, and people might view it as that. But I made the transition over back to my Fidelity account when it comes down to my actual execution. The customer support is amazing. Their platform is very easy to manage, and it's not that very simplistic design that maybe a lot of people might like within their mobile app, but it's still very easy to use. And when it comes down to execution and reliability, I think they are an ideal platform. And it's one that I use, and I use TD Ameritrade as well, just because the commissions are a little bit less, and because I'm a little bit more comfortable with Fidelity, I use Fidelity. But TD Ameritrade offers an amazing platform as well. So for those that are asking and experience a bad experience with Robinhood today, just know that there are different brokerage companies out there. But it comes down to if you have just $100 and you're paying, let's say with Fidelity, $4.95 per commission in and out, that's $10. You have to see a 10% return to even break even. So making that transition over to Fidelity might not be the best choice. One of the biggest things that I try to suggest, and for those that are starting out, I think that might benefit from this, that have never heard this before, is learn the importance of paper trading, right? Not risking any money. And it comes down to something that simple. A lot of people don't like it because they don't get the full-on experience of trading. But you have to understand that you have to prove to yourself as a trader that you can become profitable before really investing money. So an approach that I think a lot of people can benefit from, and you don't have to do this, right? You do what it is that you see value in and what you think will work for you. But taking the approach of trying simulation trading and trying paper trading, you trade real-time quotes and real-time stocks like everyone else. So you could still network with us again within our platform that's free. But it comes down to making your mistakes and learning and developing yourself as a trader within a just platform that there's no monetary risk. And while you're developing yourself as a trader, you can start saving money. You might just have $100 when you start paper trading, but if you save maybe $100 every paycheck or $200 every paycheck, by the time that you've proven to yourself that you can become a profitable day trader, then if you justify it yourself, you can make the transition over to a real brokerage account that you trust in or believe in, and then continue the best practices that you have developed in this paper trading with no monetary risk. And instead of losing $500 and then start learning, right? Just again, try paper trading. It's free. It's the same experience. It's just, it's the same type of it's the same trading. It's just not the same experience or the same type of risk that I think people psychologically go through when it comes down to trading. And I understand that, but it comes down to, would you rather prove to yourself that you can be a profitable day trader first and then start investing with your own money, or do you just want to go and risk it all and see if this is a market that you want to get in? Those are kind of the two approaches that I see the most common within traders. So it comes down to you at least being exposed to both, just opportunities to decide what it is that you guys want to do. When it comes down to Robinhood, I completely moved away, and that's why I stopped talking about Robinhood. I just thought, because a majority of my following within Techbud Solutions does use that specific application, I thought it was only just right to kind of talk a little bit more about that on the app crashing. And based on what I've read, there is no true still reasoning. People were saying that it was like hacked, or their server was down. Again, a lot of attention has been brought to them after their valuation of $1.3 billion. They could have seen a huge increase in users. Therefore, their servers couldn't just I guess like carry them. But overall, I don't necessarily, I can't tell you guys exactly. I'll post it within the Techbud Solutions Facebook platform once I do figure it out, or if any of you guys figure it out before me, feel free to post it and I'll prove it for you guys. But yeah, I know it was a really bad experience, and a lot of traders did end up losing money today because of the inability to lock in profits, to cut losses, or to even enter a position. So I hope that you guys didn't get discouraged to start trading. And if you guys haven't proven to yourself, if you guys are seeing more red days than green days, or think that you guys still need time to refine yourself as a trader, then maybe taking the approach of this paper trading platform might be something that you might want to look into. The one that I always recommend is the TD Ameritrade paper trading platform. You literally just search up TD Ameritrade like paper trading, and I've made a video about it, I think, as well. So feel free to like Google it and then join if you see value in it, right? It comes down to you as the investor to do what it is that you guys see value in. If you think that could be a good platform to utilize and learn, right, with no monetary risk, it just comes down to you dedicating time to making it happen. So other than that, we talked about the group me, so I thank you guys again for joining us for this discussion. I'm going to dedicate about 5 minutes to answer a couple of your guys' questions, just because today has been a really hectic day, not only for yourself, but for me as well. And I'm really pumped. This is somewhat of a drawback because of how close I thought we were to kind of just getting everything going. But we needed this push, and we needed kind of this disruption to get us going, I think where we need to be, and that's moving a little bit quicker. So I think it's the push that we needed, and we're definitely not giving up. I'm not, I didn't lose anything today, and it comes down to, I still really believe in what it is that we can provide, and that's just a global platform for people just to learn the fundamentals of sharing best practices and sharing mistakes, and providing just a good fundamental or foundation for people to have a better understanding on how to invest. And I don't think that's far-fetched. I just think that we need to work a little bit more on the foundation. Therefore, once more members start coming in, we can at least guide them in the right direction. So that's really just it. So I'm gonna dedicate a couple minutes to answer a couple of your questions, and then we'll go from there. Thank you guys again. For those that are tuning in or that are about to leave, thank you again. The link is down below if you guys want to join the Facebook group. And then for the group chats, just join the Facebook group, and I'll keep you guys up to date on what it is that we decide to do when it comes down to the transition that we're going to be doing with the group chats. So thank you guys again, and appreciate. I can't thank you guys enough for everything it is that you guys do. I'll dedicate a little bit of time to answer a couple of your guys' questions. Say, hey Ricky, this is Charles. I'm available to give some feedback. Appreciate it, bud. Let's see. Is the Discord chat for gamers? I think that's what it was originally designed for, but it's grown a lot more than that. So I can't pronounce your username. What is it? SYRA Tube. It says, hey Ricky, love your streams, new to trading, but working on getting better. That's definitely what it's all about. Again, it comes down to like if you're really learning and developing yourself as a trader, I don't know if you want to let us know, but if you're trying to take the approach of paper trading, feel free to let us know. I think the smartest and most efficient approach, and then be saving money while you're doing that, because now you're also saving to open a brokerage account that you can actually see a decent return in per day when you've proven to yourself that you can be a profitable day trader. So Whoa, there's a lot of people messaging. Thank you guys again for all staying in. Nova says, LOL, just joined and he's finished. I'm finished. This video will repost so you guys can see everything. Abe says, Ricky, share the damn shirts. We're working on it. We still haven't. I want to make these shirts like the least expensive for you guys. I'm really trying to get them as close as I can. I don't know if I'm going to shoot myself in the foot by saying this, but as cheap as I can to like $10. And I personally would not buy a t-shirt, and I'm being like as transparent as I can with you guys. You guys know how I dress, and I dress like with those H&M shirts. They're like $10, $9.99 or something like that, and they're extremely comfortable, and that's the type of person I am. I don't like wearing fancy stuff or anything like that, just because I don't see value in it. So I love wearing shirts like the Truro shirt that I wear because it's so comfortable, and it's not a super expensive shirt. Therefore, I bought it. And just these technology companies, they all have the same thing, and that's what I like to wear. Sergio is designing them, so they're more like, I don't know what they're called. They're like fish-tailed or something like that, like the bottom piece, and they're more like fitted. So he's kind of like the designer, and he has better style than I do. Trust me, you guys don't want me designing these t-shirts. But we are working. We're just trying to get the price as low as possible and going with different and reaching back to different vendors. But Sergio's taking care really of all that. So thank you guys again for continuing to ask for the shirts. Really do appreciate it. Ricky, where do you think ZN will be tomorrow? ZN was a complete monster today. I think I called it out yesterday at 425 support, ended up hitting like a little bit over 510 or 520, I'm not too sure. So overall dollar growth for a $4 stock. So that was a great call out. You guys called out a crazy good stock today. At least it saw a lot of momentum. That's what it is, David. AEZS. I didn't trade it, but we did analyze it during the pre-market hours, and a lot of people ended up making a good amount of money. There's a trader that made, or a couple of traders that made a couple of thousand that direct messaged me their screenshots. So congrats to all of you guys. That was really cool. So people are asking the link for the Discord group. I have to follow up with that. I'm not too sure if I'm gonna share the link. Just know that I really want to do the best for the overall group. So if you can be patient and just be patient, and I will at least give me some time, because again, I don't want to make a decision based on just the position that I'm put in right now. So how do we get level 2 on Thinkorswim? You have to subscribe. I made a video on, if you literally search up level 2 Thinkorswim and then you put my name on YouTube, my video will pop up and it tells you like how to subscribe to real-time quotes or to level 2. If not, call a TD Ameritrade rep. ZN was a monster. I agree. Ricky, read us the whiteboard. The information on the whiteboard, it's not actually my information. Sergio's writing something. He's managing something else that we're planning out, but it doesn't have to do with Techbud. So I can't do that. Ronald McCord says, Ricky, shout me out. It's kind of hard to not shout you out with all those emojis. So thank you again for tuning in, bud. How can I join the group me? Well, right now the group me is all closed. So it's just for people. This is by Christian Reyes. The group me is all closed right now. So I appreciate you wanting to join. But at the moment, like the Techbud Solutions group me is closed. If anything, we'll open up the Discord. But again, we'll have to talk about that a little bit later. The emojis worked. Do you think RAD will go down tomorrow? Well, I'm not trading RAD anymore because after it hit that resistance at 277, if I'm not mistaken, it broke below the support at 260, which we called out, and it hit lows of 250 today based on the last time I saw it. So again, it's just showing signs of upward momentum, and I don't like to invest in something that's depreciating in value until it identifies the support and starts breaking resistance. So again, showing signs of upward momentum. So we'll have to follow up with that one. Is a reverse stock split usually good or bad? I've made a video on that, usually based on previous trends. When a stock does reverse stock splits, it means it tries to let's say there's a certain amount of shares available in the market. They cut if they do like a 1/4 reverse stock split, it means that their overall current market price is going to increase 4 times of what it normally was. So if it was trading at 25 cents, it will then be valued at $1. Therefore, they cut down 75% of what their shares were available to see that increase. So it's usually not a good sign. They're trying to meet like NASDAQ requirements because they might have fallen below the dollar mark, and they're trying to not get delisted and stuff like that. So it's usually based on what I've seen, not to get signed. What's the favorite video you have made? That's a very, I haven't really thought of that. I have a good amount of videos. My favorite videos are really the helpful videos that you guys request, and they usually just answer frequently asked questions. So if you guys go on my YouTube channel, there's a bunch of free, helpful videos. And if you guys, I don't know if you guys knew this, but for those that are watching right now, if you ever have like a question or suggestion for a YouTube video, literally search up like with some key terms, what your question is on the YouTube search bar. And then put my name next to it. I've most likely made a video about it. So if I haven't, then let me know and I'll make one for you. Star Wars or Star Trek? Well, I never watched Star Trek. So I would say Star Wars, but again, I'm not a huge movie guy. Do all your roommates trade? No. We're all students, though, yeah. What's the best paper trading website? I can't answer that on what's the best because I've only been exposed to TD Ameritrade, their paper trading platform, but that one's worked pretty well for the followers that we have. Ricky, what about the Techbud Solutions option room? Well, Sunset Passion, that's your username. Feel free to direct message me if you're in any of our platforms within the group chats, and I'll get back to you. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about that. Sergio, FBA, whiteboard. What? No. Sunset Passion's like not Robinhood. They suck. I didn't say it, but yeah, they're just a different type of brokerage. All right, so Stanley Lott, the video will repost so you can see the beginning if you want to tune in. But he's saying, he's like, dang, I missed. What do you feel about Robinhood and the crash? I talked about that. I pretty much said, I think it might have to do with their valuation being at $1.3 billion, therefore driving more traffic to the specific website, and then their servers not being able to manage or hold or carry that traffic. So yeah. No, and you guys are saying like, no, Robinhood does suck, you know, and that's a matter of opinion. It comes down to, I don't want to like subjugate nor bombard any, and I've made videos about, you know, why I don't like Robinhood and stuff like that. And everyone is entitled to their own opinion. But when it comes down to like, you know, the type of environment that I try to promote within our community, you guys are all entitled and you guys can all share your opinion. But just know that, you know, there's always, think about the positive of, you know, what Robinhood is doing and just how they need to like work on it, right? They're still a growing company. And I think having that in mind that, you know, they are trying to provide at least free commissions, at least as long as, you know, they might not be there right now, as long as they continue to work to develop a more advanced type of reliable platform, then that's what I would like to see. That's all I really want to see because I want to make sure that people have the option of, you know, being able to trade with not having to pay commissions. But it just comes down to being a more reliable platform. So yes, they have the idea in mind, and I think they're on the right track, but it just comes down to providing a more reliable platform. So yes, it might not be the best for you right now, but who knows what they can bring in the future. So, okay, you guys aren't agreeing with me. You guys are saying no, Robinhood is stuff. So yeah, I can't say that. So I'm gonna end it at this. So Rodney, I can't say your last name. It's Raymonville. He tagged me and it's like, Ricky, I have no experience with stocks or trading. How do you suggest I get started? That's probably one of the most common questions that I get. And what it comes down to is I take a more conservative approach, and I wish I would have taken this approach when I originally started instead of losing money. And I think this is in the beginning, right? I think this is the approach that a lot of people take, and they kind of just go and jump into it and try to learn as they're investing or risking money. The two most successful approaches I think I've seen, or the most conservative approaches and really trying to like test the waters, is paper trading, as in like trying to learn as much as you can about, you know, trading, and then try and paper trading to test what it is that you're learning. So again, if you learn about like how to identify potential, support, resistance, how to plan out your trade, test it in a paper trading platform because it offers no monetary risk. The only thing that you're investing that's valuable is your time. But it comes down to you. If you label this as a, you a market that's valuable and that you think you can be successful in, then it comes down to you as the investor to invest that time. So I would suggest learn as much as you can about trading and try to learn about the basics and fundamentals. Again, I have a bunch of helpful videos on helping you guys get started, and then try it out or test the waters with the paper trading, TD Ameritrade paper trading platform. Another approach is people sometimes try to use Robinhood and they buy one share. Meaning if they're trying to trade like these low cap stocks that are like $5 to $10 and stuff like that, they buy one share and they focus on the percentage growth, which I think is a very smart approach because they're not risking an enormous amount of money, but they're still risking an actual amount of money that at least they're getting that experience, but in a much smaller scale. So again, instead of buying hundreds or thousands of dollars worth of shares, then they just buy one share and it's usually around $1 to $10. Therefore, if the stock even if it, it's still important to stick to your plan, have a whole idea of what it is that you're getting yourself into, being able to manage risk and to identify potential, but doing it at a smaller scale. So if you do make a mistake, it doesn't overwhelm you with the loss that you experience. Therefore, you don't get discouraged. And then if you see the stock market not being something that you're seeing a return in, or you can't prove to yourself that you can be a profitable day trader, then again, maybe you lost a couple dollars rather than a couple hundred or a couple thousand, which is something that we see very often. But it comes down to, again, you don't have to, I think people have like the idea that they see so many people within our community on making like thousands of dollars and stuff like that, and they get overwhelmed and they kind of just want to jump into it so they can be in the same thing. Guys, like, learn at your own.
Go grocery shopping, they said.
Wait, Phil,
in Arizona, they said.
Phil, I'm live, please.
Fucking
Stop. All right, so Phil just went grocery shopping and it's raining.
5 minutes is all that it took.
All right, well, that's a great way to, my followers, my subscribers, like, love you. They think that you're hilarious. All right,
let's go.
Stop. Dude, they're cracking up. Oh my goodness. And I usually don't do anything like that. You guys know I'm like a really calm guy and stuff like that. So it's funny. Like, my roommates are the complete opposites of me, and they usually have like all the fun. I'm always working. So it's great hanging out with these guys. But yeah, guys, like, kind of getting back into the point. If you identify any market, regardless if it's the stock market, and people sometimes think like, Ricky, why are you always trying to like promote like trading? That's what my kind of like foundation is. And that's what really attracts people. But I always make it clear that, trading isn't my only source of income, right? I do a number of different things when it comes to like entrepreneurial type of like businesses, or just the basics of having having like a normal job, right? I always take the approach of invest your time in what you see value in. If you see value in that a specific market has potential, then do it within your own scale. Don't jump into it just like everyone else is doing it. Do it with what is like, just like investing, like what it is that you think that you can manage. So instead of jumping into day trading and going into like $5,000, just because you have it doesn't mean that you should. Taking a much more conservative and I think a smarter approach would be first try paper trading, prove to yourself that you can be a trader, a profitable trader, and then move over to a brokerage account if that's what you decide to do. Same with, any type of market. If you want to start your own business, if you want to do like, reselling online or regardless, the buying and selling of different products, or, starting your own YouTube channel, do it within your own scale. Dedicate the time and don't feel forced to try to like prove yourself to anyone. This isn't a platform where I'm trying to push someone to a uncomfortable, just zone. I'm here to motivate you guys, but within your own means, and understand that there's nothing wrong with long-term growth. Don't fall into the like misunderstanding of this like get rich quick scheme, right? I make it very clear in every single one of my videos that it's taken years to be in the position where I am today, and I don't even label myself as someone that's like extremely successful nor in any way like rich, right? Everything it is that I make, I reinvest into, if it comes down to any of my real estate properties, if it comes down to the stock market, it comes down to the buying and reselling of different products that we have, or any of my other number of businesses. It comes down to that's the type of person I am, and that's what I like to invest my money in. Now identify the type of a person you are, the type of investor or the type of approach that you want to take in markets that you see value in. If it's not the stock market that you see value in, then don't invest in it. Just know the importance of working hard in what you do see value in and doing it within your own means. It's good to surround yourself with people that are like-minded, but don't feel forced to do something that you're extremely uncomfortable with, that you don't understand. That's one of the most important things. Invest in what you see value in and what you can manage. And that's what's going to lead to your success. Even if it takes 5-10 years down the road, if it's something that you're passionate about and something that you want to achieve, then it comes down to a simple idea of just making it happen and planning out your trade, or planning out your success. I talk about trading too much. I'm going to end it here. I'm going to end the live stream here. So I want to thank you guys again for tuning in. Please stop. My roommates are so bad. But thank you guys again for tuning in. I can't thank you guys enough for the support. If you guys can subscribe, I'd really appreciate it, or join Techbud Solutions. But most importantly, one of the biggest things that you guys can do me a favor in is continue working hard in what you see value in, and just let your passion be your drive. And that's one of the biggest things. Just continue working hard in what you want to pursue, and don't feel forced to get into a certain position that you don't understand or you don't feel like you can manage. And with that, success will follow. If it comes down to like consistency and years down the road, guys, all of those that are watching right now, you're watching this because you want to be different, because you want something a little bit greater in life. Then plan out how you're going to get there and invest in markets that you believe in, or you see value in. That's really what it is. Believe in, that's different. What you see value in, and what you see the numbers make sense in. And it comes down to that. I'm going to dedicate maybe like a couple minutes to answer a couple questions within the live chat. And that's really just it. I actually was supposed to just go on this 5 minutes, but I just get so pumped because I love you guys. I love the community that we have. And that's really just it. Regardless of what people say, like, Techbud is here to stay. And we're definitely like not going to be pushed back with any like discouragement or disruption that we see, because we're a team and we have thousands of people that are always willing to like overcome these hesitations. Regardless if we lose a couple of people throughout the way, we know that at the end of it, we will provide the best and most informative platforms out there. So thank you guys again for tuning in. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Like always, guys, continue working hard, continue doing what it is that you guys love. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, guys.